Hello, you guys. Okay, so a couple things. And don't clearly I haven't done my hair since I woke up, but recording is key priority these days. All right. So I want to have a conversation about conversations. I feel like this topic is always the most overcomplicated one in our minds. And I mean, you tell me, are you an overthinker? Because I definitely am. I know there's like a small percentage of society that doesn't have that inner voice that like overthinks with them 24/7. And bless you, because mine goes all day long. So I know that when I first started, I would send like, and I'm not even joking, y'all. If you were to see some of my first conversations, like they were like you had to scroll to read it when people would ask me what Thrive was. And I thought like the nurse in me was like, this is great. It's so much science. Like this is what everybody wants to hear. And then I would be like, why am I getting ghosted? Why is nobody responding to me? Maybe because no one knew what 5-HTP was or what, and nobody knew what anything that I was saying was. It was just people asking me about energy and me giving them literally like the science and the technology around the 3 steps. Like that's overkill. Okay. And I know that whenever somebody starts, the first thing that if they're an overthinker, the first thing that happens is they want to learn about all the products. They want to learn about what they all do. They want to make graphics. They want to have cheat sheets. They want to know what everything is before they start having conversations, because God forbid somebody asks them and they don't know. Here's the thing about that. You can actually kill your business before you even start. And what does that mean, right? So for me, I always get so nervous for somebody when they start brand new and they have to know it all before they're willing to share anything. I'm like, you should have been a customer then. You should have started as a customer, use the products for a month, and then become a promoter if that was something that was important to you. Because now you hit that promoter button, you bought your promoter pack, you're waiting on your products, and then you want to use the products. Like your VIP period is over, your first 30 days is over. Like those bonuses. Now, do those bonuses make or break your business? No, absolutely not. They don't. There are tons of 200Ks, millionaires, 12Ks, 4Ks, 40Ks. There's tons of people in this company that didn't earn their VIPs and are doing just fine. All right. But at the same time, it's so nice to have those to run towards with that excitement and that fire lit underneath you. So if you are somebody who feels like they need to know it all, I want you to hear me when I say you do not need to know it all. I still 5 years later do not know it all, nor do I ever want to know it all, because here's the thing. As I'm learning and as I'm growing with our products, our comp plan, our like the industry itself, social media, I'm able to talk about my growth. I'm able to show that I'm constantly learning things and I'm trying things and our team is doing this and that. And that's exciting to see growth on a consistent basis, whether it be on social media or product based or this or that. And I'm going to use Christina Tammy for an example. She's been with me for 4 years, over 4 years, right? And she still has not tried all of our products, right? It's her own personal reasoning for why she hasn't tried all the products, but she still hasn't tried all the products. But that doesn't stop her from working her business. That doesn't stop her from selling products that she probably hasn't tried yet. Why? Because she knows what they do, because she listens and she asks the questions. So my first thing about conversations is 3-way conversations are amazing with your upline or myself, whoever your upline is or your leader is, or if you don't know who they are, then you can reach out to me. But those are amazing when you first get going and even later on in your business. I still have 3-way conversations with potential promoters for my 80Ks. It's not because they don't know what they're talking about or they don't know how to build or they don't know how to do this, that, or the other, but because it's nice to have that third party validation is basically what it is. It's nice to have that person who is also sharing information and personal experience on a different level. So when it comes to promoters, the number one thing that I always say is make sure that you have saved the promoter pack pricing. And if you're doing this live in January of 23, I am going to send my promoter pack pricing in our Telegram chat. If you're watching this on the replay at any other given time, you can search in the Limitless page, promoter packs, and you can find them. Or they are also pinned at the very top of the Limitless team page. They are pinned in there with a graphic showing what's in them and their prices, because they change. So if you are right now doing this live, I will send you my current verbiage. But if you are watching this, I don't know, at the end of 23, right? December of 23, they might be different than they were in January, as our CEOs are constantly adding things. They're never taking things away. They're always adding things for us. So you will always be able to find the latest packs and my verbiage for it at the top of the Limitless team page. So what is that verbiage and when do I use it? How do I use it? So somebody asked me if that's something that I send when somebody says, how do I be a promoter? It's not. I like to have conversations with people, and my biggest thing, whether it be customer or promoter, is I ask them what questions they have. And here's why. Because when you are having a conversation, something that is important to me might be something different than is important to you. You might have started because you like the idea that we have no monthly fees, right? Where to me, I love the idea that there was no forced auto ship. I love the idea of our weekly pay and how many ways we were paid. So if I was asking you questions and all you told me was the most important thing to you was that we don't have monthly fees. Okay, cool. But is that it? Like, I would have asked you and said, well, tell me how you guys are paid. Tell me, are there requirements and quotas? I would have asked stuff like that, which I did ask when I joined M in 2017. And that's the thing. If you're only sharing your fives, right? Your most important things, then you're missing the potential's important things. So that's my biggest piece of advice, whether it be customer or promoter, is to always ask them what questions they have. So from a promoter standpoint, since that's what we kind of started this convo with, if they say, what is it? What is a promoter, or how do I become a promoter? I literally send something short and sweet that says, super, super simple. We get you a promoter pack. I can send you those options if you are interested. We have 3 of them. From there, we get you into my team page and we get started with training and building. What other questions, like what questions do you have? And from there, they'll ask you, okay, well, how are you paid? Or, oh yeah, send me the packs. I'd like to look at those. Or they'll keep the conversation going for you to be able to answer. So once they ask to see the packs, that's when I send those 3 pack pricing verbiage, right? So on a customer side, let's talk customer side, because this is something that a lot of people struggle with, of word vomiting. And if you struggle with word vomiting, 3-way conversations, whether it be promoter or customer, will be really, really huge for you, because you are going to want to link with somebody who doesn't struggle with word vomiting. So probably your 12K or above leader is somebody that I would connect you with, right? And if you don't know who that is, you can ask your enroller, or you can ask me and I can pull the report to tell you who your 12K and above leader is. If you are personally enrolled to me, hey, hi, hello, I am your 12K or above leader. That is me. Hi. But if you are not personally enrolled to me and you don't know who it is, and you aren't personally enrolled to a 12K and above, then let us know and we can help you get into a 3-way conversation with them as well. So here's my thing with customers. It is so easy to word vomit because it's so easy to say the science behind it. It's so easy to give all the details, right? I, again, let them lead. When they say, I'm interested in, say you get a message and they say, what do you do? I'm interested. I would say, or what are your products? I'm interested. I always start a conversation with, are you interested in being a customer or a promoter? That way I can get you personalized information to customize your pack. And then if they say promoter, then I say, great, what questions do you have? We have those 3 promoter packs. I can send you over if you're interested in taking a look at them. If they say customer, then I say, great, what results are you looking for? I'd love to customize you a pack. When they send you over, they're looking for, I don't know, weight loss, right? I always say, what is your caffeine like? Do you drink coffee, energy drinks, or are you caffeine sensitive? I ask these questions to my customers so I can personalize them a pack. Sometimes we need to take out the shake and put in Biotic, right? If they can't have caffeine, or we need to not have a step 1 because they can't have any caffeine, or maybe they drink coffee by the gallon and drink all the Bangs and Red Bulls all day long, right? Then I know, okay, well, we need to definitely get them a DFT that has caffeine. And we also definitely probably will have to suggest balance to cleanse their gut and activate to get some natural B12s into their system. So stuff like that. And that's where that customization comes in. And that's why these conversations of not going straight into, sorry, I was just reading a message. Not going straight into pricing, not going straight into the science side, not going straight into what the products do, but really customizing for them so that way they know what products you would suggest. So then when they're like, well, what do those do? You can explain what the 3-step system is. You can explain what balance is. You can explain what activate is. And if you don't know what it is, that's okay. That's where we come in, your leadership, your uplines. That's where the team chat comes in. Send a quick message in the team chat and just say, hey guys, like I have a potential customer that wants to know what activate does. How would you explain it? Right. And somebody will write you back and say how they explain it. For me, I personally explain it as it's a B12 Pixie stick. It is an energy drink replacer and it fills your body on a cellular level with those B12 vitamins that you need. So for me, stuff like that, I save for when they ask me questions, because they may never ask you what is activate. They may never care that it's a B12 Pixie stick, right? All they know is that's going to help with their energy and they're tired and that's what they want. So you meet people where they're at. You have to speak and have those conversations with people where they are at, not necessarily what your brain wants to give them all the goods about. Okay. So for conversations, that is the key element for them. Pack pricing, have it saved. Again, if you ever need to find the pack pricing and it's done with the bootcamp, we're no longer live. You can always find them on the top of the team page. I pin our announcements up there. I'll have a video going through how to utilize the systems and everything in the team page as a refresher for you guys also later on in the month. But I think that conversations is probably one of the biggest things that people struggle with because we word vomit. And I want you to know it's okay to not know the answer. It's okay to have a question and reach out to somebody or reach out to the chat or reach out to me and ask. It's okay to want to have a 3-way conversation with a potential promoter and kind of pull somebody in. It is okay to not know it all. And it's going to actually serve you so much better to not try and know it all. Because here's the thing, when you start to ask questions and you're learning as you go, you're hearing questions that maybe you wouldn't have thought of. So maybe you don't want to start sharing about the products till you know it all, but then somebody comes to you with a curveball question and you're like, well, I don't know that. Well, shoot. Well, then that's going to be discouraging to you and you're going to put yourself back 10 steps instead of realizing you're never going to know it all. You're never going to know how all of the products work. You're never going to be able to just customize there are still like vegan. There are still some things that people come to me and I'm like, oh shoot, I don't even know what I would customize. And I go in the chat and I'll be like, hey, for my vegan people, like is this safe? Is this something that they can use? Or what's your go-to for this, right? That's why we have this community and these chats in our team page, because we're here for each other. Alone, sure, you could figure it out, but why figure it out when you have an entire community behind you full of knowledge that's here to help you? That's why you joined a team, is because we're here to help you. Community over competition. Nobody is ever going to get mad at you for asking a question. And when it comes to conversations, the less you try and know it all and the more you try to help answer their questions, the smoother the conversation is going to go and the less word vomiting you're going to do. So your homework for today. So last week we worked on creating our highlights for the 3 steps for the DFTs, and we talked about samples, getting used to putting samples in our stories. So today, since we did all that last week, I want to continue with leading with the products. And I really want to put a sample highlight up today. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to get in your stories face to face what is in a sample. What is in it? And you can watch my highlights if you need to, but what is in a sample? Talk about how vitamins 3 days, this 3 days, this 3 days. If you already have that as a highlight from last week, then great. You are ahead of your homework, ahead of your assignment, and I love it. Today, what I want you to do also as part of your homework is offer samples. I want you to offer a sample graphic. And again, if you're doing this live, I will have one in the Telegram chat. If you're doing this on the replay, you can search them in the team page under topic samples, or you can just type in samples at the top in the little search bar and you will find graphics. There's also some in the guides. Again, everything that I'm going to be sharing during this can be found in the guides as well, as far as graphics and stuff, because I still utilize all of that stuff from my first 14 days 5 years later. And I'm always updating those graphics to create new ones. So that way they aren't the same things over and over and they stay up to date. But I want you to offer samples today. And then when later on in the day, after you do that, I want you to make sure that you are sharing about the products and why you're using them. Get people on Thrive. The hardest part of a conversation is starting it. But the only way that you're going to start it about Thrive without you literally messaging people is to have them message you. Okay. That is the key here, is starting conversations by them messaging you, asking questions. Because I'm going to tell you right now, it is 1,000 times easier when somebody comes to you and they're like, hey, what is Thrive? Or, hey, what do that patch do? Or, hey, what do you do? What is a promoter? How do I join? Those conversations and those starting of conversations are so much easier for me personally, because I don't feel like I'm doing small talk. I don't feel like I'm trying to interact with somebody. I feel like they actually want to know the information and I'm answering their questions. And those are the people that order right then and there. Those are the people that are interested in joining your team. Those are the people that have been watching you. And because you're sharing that knowledge and because you're in your stories talking about it, sorry, they want to know more, and they're learning from your highlights. They're watching your highlights and they're getting educated and they're answering questions that now they want to hear from you and order from you. So we're going to focus on samples today. Again, we focused on them last week as well. And you're going to notice that I'm going to have a heavy focus on samples and on the products, because your goal here is to get people on Thrive. And that's going to be your biggest thing. So not only are we going to talk about samples, but something that I love to do, and I'm also going to share this in the Telegram chat. And again, if you are not doing this live, they are in the team page under product knowledge. You can search product facts and you will see a bunch of screenshotted product knowledge. I love to add these to my step one. I'll put like what's in it, like that I typed out in my notes and screenshotted, and like what the things do. Or at night when I do my gut duo, signs of a bad gut, or you know what I mean, signs that you need to heal your gut, and it will give you like the different things. I love to do that because it sparks conversations and interest in people, that they respond to your stories and they're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that if I healed my gut, I could grow, my hair would stop breaking, or I would sleep better, or my immune system is housed there. Like there's stuff like this that is just a Google search away, and I just screenshot and put it in there. That is key. And it also helps with product knowledge in your stories as people are watching, to kind of plant that seed, spark that interest to start conversations. So your homework today, if you didn't do it last week, is to get a 3-step sample highlight. So sample highlight. And if you need an example, I have one on my highlights that you are welcome to go watch. And I update it randomly. I'll put like different graphics in there as well. Add your sample link to it with a sample graphic. And then also today, you are going to be working on that product knowledge within your stories. Now, I'm not saying every single time that you take a product, you need to have product knowledge, because that's overkill. But what I am saying is make it an effort this week, like maybe tomorrow when you take your step one, to put that step one information on it. Right? Or maybe when you are taking gut health tonight, you can put that little screenshot that says signs that your gut is out of whack, right? Stuff like that. That is going to be really, really key for getting people and selling in your stories without saying buy this, but you're sharing why it's important. Okay. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We will chat tomorrow. Don't forget non-negotiables, IPA, Monday night Zooms, and then that replay for Sundays, planning and batching as well, to plan and batch your week. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll chat tomorrow. Bye.